My childhood sweetheart fell for the school belle who plays with hearts. She loves to walk away the moment a man is completely smitten. Watching them suffer and grovel in the dirt for her gives her endless satisfaction, a testament to her charm. In my past life, I didn't want my childhood sweetheart to end up like the others, so I warned him, but he turned around and told that girl everything. It led to years of bullying that ended with me falling to my death. Now that I'm reborn, I choose to stand by and do nothing. I'm curious to see if he can actually tame that poisonous rose. Victor Su walked past me, arm in arm with Lily Tang, his face expressionless. He didn't even glance at me, standing there frozen in place. The familiar scene, the same scenario, was playing out once again. That's when I realized I had been reborn. Reborn on the very day Victor Su and Lily Tang got together. Victor Su is my childhood sweetheart. Ever since I understood what love was, my eyes and heart belonged only to Victor Su. In my past life, I accidentally learned from a mutual friend that Lily Tang was the school belle who enjoyed toying with people's emotions. From middle school to high school, she had more boyfriends and fingers on both hands. Her favorite pastime was making boys fall hopelessly in love with her, humiliate themselves, and act foolishly, only to dump them afterward, no matter how they suffered, beg pathetically to reunite. She remained utterly unmoved. She even relished the feeling of being admired and pursued. To her, it was all just a game, and she had the charm to play it. Young and beautiful, she was the acknowledged school belle, with a powerful, influential family and bold initiative. Few men could resist falling for her. Even knowing it might be a honey trap, they willingly stepped into it, letting her deceive them out of their true hearts. But after her last boyfriend committed suicide following their breakup, her parents, fearing for her safety, urgently transferred her to another school. Unexpectedly, she repeated her old tricks, setting her sights on Victor Su. In my past life, not wanting Victor to get hurt, I told him everything I knew, yet he thought I was deliberately trying to break them apart. I told this to Lily Tang as a joke. This became the source of my tragedy. I was bullied. Her accomplices locked me in the restroom, beating and kicking me. They hacked my hair to a mess, tore my skirt to shreds, and pressed cigarette butts into my arm, each burn leaving a scar. I screamed in agony, begging for mercy with every fiber of my being. They laughed with wicked delight, just like villains on TV. Victor Su stood by watching, his eyes icy cold. He thought I had ulterior motives and decided to teach me a lesson. In the end, Lily Tang and her gang pushed me off the school rooftop. I drew my last breath filled with rage and resentment. Given a second chance, I just want to stay far away from this deranged couple. Honestly, it's no surprise Victor Su fell for Lily Tang. We were two alike, both raised under strict parental rules. Growing up obediently, he excelled academically, consistently ranking first in our grade throughout high school. Mr. and Mrs. Su had high hopes for him, setting their sights on the Ivy League early on. His 18 years had been devoted to nothing but studying. But Lily Tang was different. Her youth was wild and unrestrained, her privileged background giving her the confidence to live extravagantly. With her family always there to back her up if anything went wrong, she was always the center of attention. This vibrant, passionate Lily Tang deeply captivated Victor Su. Soon after transferring, Lily showed interest in Victor, but at that time, Victor had his mind solely on his studies. Lily joined our class mid-semester, and to help her catch up, the teacher seated her next to Victor. I sat directly behind the two of them. I witnessed firsthand how Victor gradually fell for her, step by step, bit by bit. He and Lily had known each other for less than a month, yet he and I had grown up together since childhood. Over a decade of friendship couldn't compare to a single month's fleeting encounter. After school that day, Lily was harassed by the school bully, Liu Chung, who insisted she become his girlfriend. The surrounding students seethed with anger, but, fearing the bully's tactics, dared not step forward. At that moment, Victor Su appeared and took Lily Tang away. It was also on this day that they officially became a couple. Victor Su posted a photo of them holding hands in a class group chat with hundreds of members. publicly announcing, "I'm taken." Like a bolt from the blue, the lurking classmates were all jolted into action, flooding the screen with praises like, "The top student is awesome." A few troublemakers even at mentioned me, urging me to say something. Before Lily Tang, our classmates had always teased Victor and me, assuming we were a pair. I didn't disappoint them, typing a few words in the group. "Congratulations. May you have a long and happy union." That evening, I unexpectedly ran into him in the stairwell. When he saw me, his smile faded. Seeing him, I felt the pain in my arm flare up again. I moved past him, about to head upstairs, when he called out to stop me. Puzzled, I turned back. Victor Sue tossed out a line, "Wait for me a moment." Then he dashed upstairs, and before long, he came back down carrying a box. A tiny kitten poked its head out of the box, showing signs of stress as it anxiously circled and scratched inside, its urgent meows echoing through the entire building. My heart aching, I took the box from his hands. This was the stray cat we found downstairs last month. It had been staying at his place, but all the litter and food were bought by me. Frowning, I asked, "What do you mean?" Victor Sue shoved his hands in his pockets and said coldly, "I don't want Lily to misunderstand." Misunderstand? Mimicking his posture with my hands in my pockets, I looked at him mockingly. Misunderstand what? Victor Sue stared at me with a complicated expression, his lips twitching slightly, but ultimately he said nothing. Yet I understood exactly what he meant from the look in his eyes. I let out a scornful laugh. "You've always known I liked you, haven't you? Yet you never said anything, never rejected me, stringing me along as your backup, watching me foolishly chase after you. Now that you're with Lily Tang, you're in a hurry to cut ties with me?" Victor Sue's face hardened, his voice tinged with impatience. "Nina Chow, I consider you a friend." "No." I cut him off. "We are not friends. Not now, and never will be." After delivering those words, I carried the box upstairs. To me now, he was merely a familiar stranger. For the past 18 years, it seemed I had never truly understood him. I once thought he at least had some fondness for me, but in my past life, when Lily Tang bullied me, his indifference and tacit approval shattered my hopes completely. This cat was something he insisted on keeping back then, and I've been the one caring for it ever since. Now, to sever ties with me, Victor Sue dumped it on me, cutting the last thread between us. Perhaps it's for the best. From now on, he and I are through. This was Victor Sue's first relationship. I never knew he could be caring toward someone. He unfailingly brought breakfast to Lily Tang every single day. When her stomach hurt, Victor Sue skipped half a class to buy her a hot water bottle, coaxing her gently with soft words as he pressed his hand against her belly to massage it. During class, they secretly held hands under the desk. Between classes, Lily Tang would cling to him unabashedly, using books as cover to steal kisses. During PE class, she scraped her skin a little. Victor Sue reacted as if facing a great crisis. His eyebrows furrowed deeply as he scooped her up and rushed to the infirmary. He even left the school nurse speechless. All their classmates knew they were a couple, casting glances that held both teasing and envy. They paid no mind to others' stares, walking hand in hand openly across campus, inspiring other campus couples to grow bold and follow their example. With less than half a year left until the college entrance exams, soon their relationship came to the teacher's attention. Victor Sue was the top student in his grade. His teacher urged him with deep concern to prioritize his studies. He brushed it off, taking Lily Tang's hand. What's the use of good grades without her? The teacher's eyes widened, unable to believe he would say such a thing. When the monthly exam results came, Victor Sue fell from his throne as the top ranked student for the first time. The teacher tactfully informed his parents. That same day, Victor was dragged home by his mother, his ear firmly in her grip. He had always been obedient to his parents. This was the first time he ever defied them. Even several floors away, the sounds of slamming tables and doors were clearly audible. A few motorcycles were parked downstairs, with Lily Tang sitting on the back of one, fully made up. I stood by the fifth floor window, watching Victor swing onto a bike before the group roared off. I didn't know when he came back. All I knew was that after that day, Mr. and Mrs. Sue always wore worried expressions. Having grown up with Victor, my grades were naturally decent. I consistently ranked within the top 50 of our grade. This monthly exam, I climbed 20 places higher. Mrs. Sue subtly probed me about Victor and Lily Tang, asking me to talk some sense into him. I thought to myself, if even you can't handle it, what good would I do? But I couldn't just dismiss an elder's goodwill either. Afterward, I sent him a token message. Damn it, Victor Sue blocked me. I let out a cold, mocking laugh. Next time his aunt asks about him, I'll just show her the chat screen, putting on the most pitiful expression. Auntie, he blocked me right after getting a girlfriend. Although, in this life, I haven't told Victor about Lily Tang, but there's no guarantee they won't bully me again. I treasure this hard one chance at being reborn. I quickly asked the teacher to change my seat, putting as much distance between us as possible. Then I signed up for Muay Thai classes. If they bully me again, I'll knock them out one by one. But the moment I saw the Muay Thai coach, I froze in place. Isn't that Ethan Yi? Leo Chung, the school bully who used to harass Lily Tang, was his lackey. He didn't recognize me, so I pretended nothing was wrong and trained with him. By the end of the day, I was sprawled on the mat, aching all over. Ethan Yi wiped his sweat and grinned at me. Your basics are too weak. We'll add an extra hour of training tomorrow. I felt like the sky had fallen on me. Then I thought of Lily Tang, gritted my teeth, and said, fine. After a few days, my impression of Ethan Yi had greatly changed. Turns out he wasn't as fierce as I'd imagined. During lessons, he was very patient, guiding me through punches and kicks. I heard this boxing gym was owned by his family. No wonder he's never lost a fight. Just after boxing class, I opened my phone and saw a video a classmate had sent me. Confused, I tapped to play it. My jaw dropped in shock. I never expected Victor Sue to be so aloof around me, yet so relaxed around Lily Tang. In the video, Victor Sue was half, kneeling before Lily Tang, who sat on a chair with her legs crossed. Seemed like he'd lost a game and was being pranked. Everyone around them was egging him on, telling him to lick her shoe and say to her, I'm willing to be your simp for life. This was clearly meant to humiliate him. Victor Sue hesitated, his face flushing crimson, but he was put on the spot. Lily Tang's friends clamored, if you won't lick it, you don't love our Lily. Lily Tang propped her chin, watching him with keen interest. She didn't speak up to stop them. In the end, Victor Sue stuck out his tongue. A chorus of shrieks rose and fell before the video cut off abruptly. I clicked my tongue, thinking mischievously, I wonder how Mr. and Mrs. Sue would feel seeing this video. They'd probably faint from anger. In this life, my interactions with Lily Tang have been few. What I know of her comes from my past life. I knew she was shameless, but when I stumbled upon her locking lips with Leo Chung in the grove, I still froze in shock. Lily Tang looked up, and her eyes suddenly met mine. After a moment's pause, she provocatively wrapped her arms around Leo Chang's shoulders and deepened the kiss. Once I regained my senses, I hurried away. During the break, after second period, she cornered me in the restroom. Though Lily Tang smiled, her tone carried a heavy threat. If you dare speak of what happened today, I assured her, don't worry. How you handle things is your business. I absolutely won't tell anyone. Lily seemed satisfied with my answer and didn't give me any trouble. But Victor Sue was still lost in the romance, completely unaware of the change in his lover. Both of us came from ordinary families, yet Victor scrimped and saved for a month just to buy an expensive gift because of an offhand remark Lily made. A day later, I saw that gift in the trash. Having been raised in privilege, Lily saw our idea of valuable as trivial. To a young lady like her, it was just cheap junk. Of course, she wouldn't treasure it. I had a feeling Lily was about to end things with him. Nina, come quick. Victor's gotten into a fight with someone in the cafeteria. The moment I got the message, I rushed over without delay. No true Chinese misses out on a good spectacle. Besides, this is Victor we're talking about. I've never seen him get into a fight with anyone in my life. I hurried over excitedly to take a look. Not only Victor Su and Lily Tang were there, Ethan Yi and Leo Chung were also present. Ethan raised an eyebrow in surprise when he saw me. I had no time to greet him, completely captivated by the scene before me. Victor and Leo had just finished fighting. The ground was a mess. Leo was skilled at fighting and hadn't taken much damage. Victor, inexperienced, was covered in dirt, his face bruised purple and blue, blood trickling from the corner of his mouth. He looked utterly disheveled. I glanced over at Lily. Maybe it was just my imagination, but with her arms crossed, she seemed rather enjoying it. Soon, the teacher got wind of it and called them to the office. Later, I heard from classmates that Victor had gone to the cafeteria and seen Leo with his arm around Lily, laughing and chatting. He thought Leo still had ill intentions toward her. Without a word, he picked up a stool and smashed it against Leo's back. Leo Chung was never one to take a beating lying down. He immediately cursed in Mandarin and grappled with him. With the main characters gone, the crowd gradually dispersed. Just as I was about to leave, Ethan Yi reached out to stop me. It was then I remembered his connection to Leo Chung. Thankfully, he didn't intervene, or 10 Victor, thus, wouldn't have been enough to take him on. Ethan gestured with his chin toward Lily Tang. You know that girl? I nodded. What about her? Ethan sneered. Know why they fought? I shook my head. Ethan explained. She was the one who came over and started cozying up to my buddy. So, get it now? My eyes widened. I hadn't expected that. Lily Tang was even trashier than I'd imagined. Victor Su. You're in for a world of trouble. That day, Victor Su's parents were called to school once again. The moment his mother heard it was because of Lily Tang again, she stormed straight from the principal's office to the classroom. Victor couldn't hold her back, no matter how hard he tried. Before Lily Tang could react, the aunt had already slapped her across the face, cursing angrily. Shameless wretch. If my son fails to get into the Ivy League because of you, I'll tear your face apart. Lily had never suffered such humiliation before. Her eyes reddened instantly as she lunged forward to fight back. Victor Su quickly pulled her away. She shook off Victor's grip and glared at him furiously. Then she ran out of the classroom in tears. Victor, his face grim, chased after her. After that, they didn't return to class. The next day, it was said that Lily broke up with him. Her seat was also moved to the very back row. But after class, Victor went over, crouched by her desk, and tried every trick to cheer her up. Lily completely ignored him. Victor was so focused on her that he neglected his studies and listening in class, dropping another 10 places in the rankings. It was thought Lily would dump him for good this time. Unexpectedly, Victor made a grand gesture, and the two reconciled. It rained all day, so all the students stayed inside the classroom. Suddenly, a commotion erupted downstairs. Everyone rushed out to the corridor. It was Victor Su, holding a megaphone. He shouted through the heavy rain. Lily Tang, I'm sorry. I failed to protect you, and I apologize, but I won't break up with you. I love you. I'll do anything if you can forgive me. I watched the scene speechlessly. So cringy. Even soap operas don't pull this stuff anymore. But when I glanced at Lily Tang, she had her chin raised, looking thoroughly pleased. I smacked my forehead. Now I get it. Lily Tang just loves being the center of attention. She enjoys watching men fight over her. The more dramatic, the more it feeds her twisted ego. And just like that, Lily Tang and Victor Su made up. Only, they started arguing more frequently after that. Sometimes their fights even affected those around them. Like me, it wasn't until Victor Su had flirted with me countless times that I realized he was doing it to provoke Lily Tang. He deliberately acted like he was pursuing me, bringing me water and umbrellas, hoping to make Lily jealous. Lily indeed took the bait as he intended and started causing trouble for me. I didn't want to get involved in their drama. I arranged a meeting with both of them and said bluntly, I'm not interested in him. Your fights are your own business. Don't drag me into it. Victor had some pride. Having grown up together and living in the same building, he never approached me again after that day. He and Lily made up again. I went about my usual routine of attending classes. Whenever I had free time, I'd rush to the boxing gym to train. Over this period, My fighting skills improved significantly. I no longer got out of breath after running just 800 meters like before. Lily and Victor continued their usual pattern of constant bickering. Just when I thought Lily was about to dump him, something would always happen to bind them tightly together again. Like this time, someone had posted a set of photos on the school bulletin board. The little girl in the photos was only a few years old, dark, skinned and chubby. Her eyes were squeezed into mere slits. At first, no one recognized who the girl in the photos was. But right beside the photos, the words Lily Tang were scrawled in chalk. When Lily Tang saw the photos, her face turned as dark as coal. After tearing them down, she still wasn't satisfied and burned them to ashes with a lighter. From that day on, classmates couldn't help but glance sideways at her, amazed at how she had turned her life around. But no one knew it was a knot in her heart that would never come undone. She saw those glances as mockery. She'd turn on anyone who brought it up. But what truly humiliated her was a short video that went viral online next. In the video, she lay naked in bed with a man. The man was handsome, but it wasn't Victor Sue, nor was it anyone we knew. In the video, a few people walked in, seeing the two lying side by side on the bed. Their faces instantly darkened. Leading them was a beautiful and very poised young woman. Tears welled in her eyes as she stared at the two in disbelief. The middle-aged couple following behind rushed forward in fury, grabbing Lily Tang and slapping her twice. "You wretched thing, look at what you've done." Stunned by the blows, Lily Tang covered her face with a dazed look, murmuring, "Sister." The young woman she called sister choked back tears. "Why would you do this to me? He's your brother." In law, the man on the bed woke up to the scene and immediately pointed at Lily Tang guiltily. "Jing. It was her. She seduced me first." Finally coming to her senses, Lily Tang casually tossed her hair. "It's just a man. I'm your own sister. You wouldn't mind, right?" Her sister trembled with rage at her shamelessness. "I've always given you everything you wanted since we were children. Why did you have to take him from me too?" Lily Tang said shamelessly. "I'm not stealing him from you. Here, you can have him back when I'm done." My sister turned away, wiped her tears, and glared at her coldly. "Keep him." Then she turned and left. The middle-aged couple shot her a disappointed look before walking away in disgust. The video ended with a close-up of Lily Tang's face, unrepentant and smug, as she stared in the direction my sister had left. Lily Tang got cyberbullied. Her past was dug up. At such a young age, she took pleasure in toying with people's emotions, seducing her own sister's partner. She was torn to shreds online. After that day, Lily never came back to school. Some people at school gossiped about her. Victor got into a fight over it and then disappeared too. Later, a classmate ran into the two at a bar. Victor was by her side, carrying her bag and shielding her from drinks. My world was finally peaceful again. Lily's true colors had been exposed to the public in the most unexpected way. I thought she could no longer pose a threat to me. The events of my past life will not repeat themselves. But I never expected what happened next would shatter the peaceful life I'd known for 18 years. That day, I received a call from an unknown number. The caller introduced herself as Jean Tang. She said she had something very important to discuss with me. It took me half a second to process this. Wasn't Jean Tang Lily's older sister? What could she possibly want from me? With this question lingering, I agreed to meet her. She was even more beautiful than in videos. She looked nothing like Lily. Her eyes were larger, her nose more defined, and she carried a gentle, warm aura. When she saw me, her expression grew unusually intense. I felt awkward under her gaze and timidly asked, "What did you want to talk about?" She pulled out a document, slid it toward me, and gestured for me to open it. Baffled, I opened it under her expectant stare. My heart jolted the moment my eyes landed on the bold letters. Paternity test report. When I saw the conclusion, after evaluation, the probability of a biological parent. Child relationship between Nina Chow and Don Tang is 99.9%. I looked up in shock. What does this mean? Jean Tang's eyes were red, rimmed as she tentatively grasped my hand. "Nina, you're actually my sister." "Impossible." I denied it loudly. I grew up in the Chow family. Though we weren't wealthy, my parents treated me well, and I was happy. How could I possibly be her sister? Seeing my agitation, Jean soothed. Nina, please listen to me. I've actually suspected for years that Lily Tang isn't my biological sister. So, recently I secretly did a paternity test behind our parents' backs. And sure enough, my suspicions were confirmed. So, I investigated the hospital where she was born and followed the clues to you. I went to see your parents, and they provided your DNA. So, I interrupted her. So, my parents knew about this? Jean nodded. After calling them mom and dad for 18 years, I was suddenly told one day that they weren't my biological parents. I'd been switched at birth. I couldn't accept it at first. Could this be a mistake? Jean Tang shook her head firmly. No mistake. You're definitely my sister. After a long silence, I spoke hoarsely. I need some time to process this. Back home, I had an open conversation with my parents. They respected my decision completely, leaving it up to me whether I wanted to reconnect with my biological family. They also gently mentioned wanting to meet Lily Tang. Just thinking about her gave me a headache. That night, I tossed and turned in bed, unable to sleep. A few days later, Jean contacted me again. She said Mr. and Mrs. Tang wanted to see me. After discussing it with my parents, I decided to go. They were a kind-hearted couple. The moment I entered, they rushed over and embraced me, weeping uncontrollably. Their emotion moved me, and I felt my own eyes well up silently. During the meal, they kept putting food on my plate, gazing at me with tender affection, reluctant to look away. Suddenly, the door was flung open with force. I looked toward the entrance in surprise. Lily Tang, whom I hadn't seen in a long time, walked in. Victor Su followed closely behind her. Before anyone could react, the furious Lily charged at me and grabbed my hair. She dragged me from my seat, clutching my hair and slapping me. Nina Chow, you bitch, don't you dare try to steal my mom and dad. By the time everyone snapped out of it and pulled her away, she had already torn out a small clump of my hair. I clutched my head in pain. She was still screaming hysterically, not a single decent word coming out of her mouth. Mr. and Mrs. Tang's faces were grim. With a sharp slap, Lily's head jerked to the side as she stared at her father in disbelief. You hit me for this bitch. Mr. Tang was furious. Shut up. She is my daughter, and I won't allow you to speak of her like that. Lily Tang screamed. If she's your daughter, then what am I? What do I even count as? Father Tang froze at her words, his lips trembling as if wanting to speak. Yet no sound emerged. Mother Tang silently wept beside them. They had raised Lily for 18 years. How could such familial bonds be easily severed? That day, Lily left us in bitter disagreement. On the way back, Jean Tang shared a story with me. Only then did I understand why Lily had become who she was today. As a child, Lily was dark-skinned and chubby. Relatives and friends often teased her, saying she didn't resemble her parents. Meanwhile, her sister Jean was seen as a princess. Everyone doted on her, gradually overlooking Lily. From some point on, she began viewing her sister as a rival, competing with her in every way. Whatever Jean had, she would seize for herself. Entering adolescence, she turned to cosmetic procedures to become fairer and prettier, while her psyche grew increasingly distorted. To prove she was more popular and charming than her sister, and to get her parents' attention, she started dating frequently, toying with and deceiving their feelings, even seducing Jean Tang's fiancé. Lily Tang's rebelliousness gave Mr. and Mrs. Tang constant headaches. Right around then, Jean Tang found out about me and discovered I was her real biological sister. After meeting Mr. and Mrs. Tang, we started keeping in touch more often. They added me on WeChat, checking in on me every day. I knew Lily Tang wouldn't just let it go, but I never expected her to go this crazy. Victor Su brought her to my house. My parents saw her, but didn't get the chance to acknowledge her. Before they could, she gave the order, and the people she brought with her smashed our home to pieces. My mom was furious. Let's just pretend I never gave birth to her. A daughter like that is more than we can handle. Mr. and Mrs. Tang messaged me nonstop every day, asking me to come stay with them for a while. Thinking of Lily Tang, I hesitated and didn't agree. After the short video incident, Lily Tang showed up at school for the first time, just to corner me. All that Muay Thai training I'd been doing paid off. She didn't get the upper hand on me. Before leaving, she threw down a threat. Nina Chow, just you wait. I rolled my eyes hard. This lunatic just never gives up. The night before I was supposed to move back in with Mr. and Mrs. Tang, I got kidnapped. Someone hit me from behind with a blunt strike, and I blacked out instantly. When I came to, my hands and feet were tied up. I looked around and realized I was in an unfinished building, with no one else in sight. The kind of place where a body could lie undiscovered for 3 to 5 years. Panic set in immediately, and I struggled violently. Then Lily Tang appeared, her face twisted with malice, followed by a familiar figure. It finally dawned on me who delivered that sneak attack. It was my so-called childhood sweetheart, Lily Tang's loyal lapdog, Victor Su. Seeing my look of loathing, Victor Su guiltily averted his eyes. I confronted Lily Tang. Kidnapping is illegal. Are you insane? Lily bent over laughing after hearing this. I am insane. Thanks to you. My parents disowned me. Lily's state was off. I struggled backward. What do you want? Lily twisted her smile, stepping closer. I want you gone. I want you to give my parents back to me. Only when you're dead will they realize I'm their real daughter. Only me. The murderous intent swirling in Lily's eyes felt tangible, piercing through my very core. She truly wanted to kill me. Memories of my past lives fall replayed before my eyes, my body aching with the recollection. I don't want to die yet. I bit my lower lip until it bled, forcing myself to stay calm. I pleaded with Lily, please calm down. I never intended to take them from you. Just let me go, and I promise I'll never appear before them again in this lifetime. Lily Tang laughed. It's useless. You must die today. With that, she lunged at me, and I dodged sharply, but with my hands tied, I couldn't run fast. Soon, she forced me to the edge. I glanced behind me. It was at least 7 stories high. A fall from here would be certain death. Lily shoved me. My center of gravity dropped, and my toes dug desperately into the ground. For a moment, she couldn't budge me. Victor Su stood in the distance, hesitating and not daring to step forward. As we were locked in stalemate, I seized an opening and spun around. Caught off guard, Lily's momentum carried her forward. With a thunderous crash, time seemed to stand still. Crouched on the ground, my heart pounded like a drum, still reeling from what just happened. From afar came Victor Su's anguished cry, Lily. Snapping back to reality, Victor, pale-faced, scrambled on all fours to find Lily. Not daring to delay, I fled without looking back. I ran for what felt like an eternity. Only when I spotted a household did I collapse from exhaustion. Passing out, I was discovered and taken to the hospital. Due to shock and extreme fatigue, I remained unconscious for several hours. When I awoke, it was already the early hours of the next day. The villagers had reported to the police, and I told them the truth. Subsequently, the police found Lily Tang's body in that unfinished building, along with Victor Su, who was silently holding her. Lost in a daze, Victor Su was taken into custody as an accomplice. A prison sentence was inevitable. My parents and Mr. and Mrs. Tang rushed to the hospital as soon as they could. Upon hearing the tragic news about Lily, all past resentments vanished. They wept silently, covering their mouths in grief, yet tried to stay strong in front of me. After Victor was arrested, his parents pleaded with me, hoping I'd show mercy for the sake of our childhood sweetheart bond. But I hold grudges. I couldn't forgive him for what he had done to me, nor would I kick him while he was down. I left it all to the law. With so much happening before the college entrance exams, my studies were inevitably affected. After being discharged from the hospital, I threw myself into catching up. 2 months later, when the exam results were announced, I was thrilled to have been accepted into my dream university. On the first day of the semester, I was surprised to see Ethan Yee at school. He winked at me. We meet again, looking forward to the next 4 years together. Occasionally, I think of Victor Su. If he hadn't met Lily Tang, he probably would have smoothly gotten into the Ivy League by now. Lily brought him unprecedented excitement, but she also dragged him into an abyss of endless regret and suffering for the rest of his life. I grew closer to Mr. and Mrs. Tang and occasionally stayed at their villa for a few days each month. I never forgot the upbringing and care my own parents gave me. Having two sets of parents who love me, I feel truly blessed. I believe this happiness will last. The darkness of the past will eventually be replaced by light. One must pay the price for the path they choose. Now, my path ahead is brilliant, and I will walk it unwaveringly. Bonus chapter: Jean Tang's perspective. I had a dream. In the dream, my sister stole my fiancé and caused an accident that killed me. After my death, she received all of our parents' attention, becoming the princess cherished by everyone. Waking with a start, I was drenched in cold sweat. Thinking of my sister's hostility toward me over the years sent chills down my spine. At first, I thought it was just a dream, until I discover my sister seducing my fiancé. Recalling that dream, I felt an inexplicable sense of unease. Then I remembered that since childhood, my sister's temperament and appearance never resembled our family's. Just like that, suspicion took root. I secretly took strands of my sister's and father's hair for testing. Sure enough, she is not my biological sister. Years of rivalry finally had the most reasonable explanation. Afterward, I went behind my family's back and tracked down the hospital where my mother gave birth. Through comparison, I found Nina Chow. With her family's help, it was confirmed that she is my biological sister. The moment I got the results, I felt an indescribable sense of relief and clarity. That's right, I was the one who exposed Lily Tang's photos and videos. Since childhood, she snatched everything from me. Our parents worried themselves sick over her, their hair turning gray prematurely. I wanted to teach her a lesson. I never imagined she would resort to something as insane as kidnapping, ultimately harming both others and herself. Lily Tang died, and our parents grieved for a while. With Nina Chow and me by their side, they gradually moved on. A bright and beautiful future awaits our family of four. Mud belongs in the mud. If you force it onto a wall, it can't hold on and will just collapse back into a messy puddle.